Welcome once again, guys and gals, to another week of the Mists of Barrovia, where we find our party in a few different predicaments, as it were. As we have two of our party in the town of Vallaki, looking to investigate the Wachter house. Two of our party have just escaped from the castle Ravenloft, and one of the party, which we are going to be joining first off this week, is currently heading in the direction of Vesta Hill, with a very large amount of twig blights in tow. And it
I'm
is
Groot.
indeed, and it is here where we pick up from this session here. So if I move you onto that map there,
Ooh, I should open roll 20, shouldn't I?
it might help. Yes,
I
that
knew it
way
was
you
something I'd
can
forget.
see where you are.
I was like, got my character dice, got me got this code. What else do I need? I'm in.
I mean, I just assumed that you would be like telepathically viewing the webpage through your mind, but
I'm not that good. Getting there, but not that good.
Yeah, so you've essentially been following a trail through the woods. This staff in your hand kind of giving you pointers of which direction to travel. And these really thick woods just kind of leads to this hill covered with dead grass and cairns of black rock. And these dark, ominous clouds just gather high above, and a single bolt of lightning strikes the top of the hill. West of the hill, the land and the woods, and even the sky itself just vanish behind this towering wall of fog. And leading you further up the hill itself, you hear the staff itself once again in your mind.
Yes, yes. The top of the hill there, that is where we need to be. Continue, my dear, continue up that lovely hill. My friends will be waiting there.
That's still creepy.
it's happening.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Cool.
Yeah, has
So,
the
yeah.
map loaded for you there?
Yes, it's finally
Awesome.
loaded.
Cool. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go up because that's what the staff tells me to go to the top of the hill, right? So that's
Yeah, so you continue up the hill, and the dirt trails themselves just run around along these concentric rings of cairns that just encircle the hillside. Each cairn itself is about 10 foot high, just this mound of slimy black rocks as you kind of get a bit closer to them and examine them a little bit. But you just trudge on past there atop the hill itself, and you notice this ring of just black boulders and smaller rocks that kind of collectively form a makeshift wall just enclosing this field of what appears to be dead grass. Lightning strikes once again the edge of the ring itself, and from time to time you'll notice these lightning strikes just keep coming down, hitting the edge of the ring. And kind of a loop.
is it. Sorry,
That's all right.
I was just gonna ask. Is there a pattern to the lightning?
There doesn't seem to be. No, it seems to be completely at random, but it always hits the rocks themselves and never the ground. Always the rocks. Um,
Hmm.
and every time this lightning strikes, it kind of illuminates this ghastly 50-foot tall statue made of tightly woven twigs and packed with black earth. The statue resembles a towering cloaked man with fangs. So if you kind of imagine the Wicker Man with fangs, that's kind of what you're looking at the
Not
moment
the
there in the
bees,
center of
not the
this.
bees.
In the center of this ring, you see that towering man there. You also see a number of smaller figures, almost human-sized, standing around this man, with this wooden statue. They seem to be chanting something, but you don't quite hear what it is they're chanting.
There we go. Sorry, I was looking for. Is there a chance that because Apricot was hurt before she left. Is there a chance I could have used one of my spell slots to cast Cure Wounds on myself as we were walking?
Oh yeah, yeah. There'd have been time for that.
Cool. So, how much is Cure Wounds?
I want to say
Green.
2d4. I can't remember.
Look at it 1 sec. I'm a cleric. I should know this. Jesus. It's oh good lord. Are you doing a 1 first level?
I only have first level spell slots.
It's 1d8
Before,
plus
like,
your spell modifier.
Well, technically now I have second level spell slots, but if this would be
Okay.
before today, so I technically only have. I don't know how that works.
First level's 1d8 plus your
Yeah.
spell modifier.
Like technically, now that I've leveled up, I have second level spell slots, but
Yeah.
But you haven't taken a long rest yet, so you don't have access to it.
oh, okay. I thought we got access to everything but HP when we leveled up.
No, it's essentially anything that you gain from leveling up. I believe you. Is it you need to take a long rest?
I
can't
was
actually
always under
remember
the impression
now.
that you had to take a long rest for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
I,
fair.
I,
Yeah.
I think that's
Sounds
right.
right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Makes sense.
I will roll a d8. Well,
I
I will
like
use
it.
apricot's dice for apricot. They weren't
Your
being very
power
nice for Theo last week, so but I am currently in apricot mode, so we will use the apricot dice. Don't need them. Okay, d8. Plus spellcasting ability modifier, which is intelligence. Apricot's intelligence is 3. So that's 10 points. I get plus 10.
Cool.
Yay. I'm not as dead as before.
As dead.
Is that 24 correct?
No,
is
that
that from-
24 is Theo's, because it's linked up to the same character sheet as Theo's is. I'm not sure what yours
Right.
actually is from yours before.
I mean, I have 7 written down. So I'm going to assume it's.
It's quite possibly
Say
correct.
what, 7?
Yeah.
That's what I've got written down in my little book. So
Cool.
I'm going to say it's 17. That's why I was just like, I think I'm on not much. And I don't know what's about to happen. And she's meant to be clever. So I need to mark off that she's used up another spell. Because my spells won't have regenerated because we haven't had rest. Because I'm busy following the weird routes. But yeah. Cool. All right, so we're outside here with.
Yeah, so you're outside the circle currently, and you see this ring of druids essentially what it looks like. They look exactly the same, kind of dressed wise, as the druid that you killed and took the staff from. Now the staff seems to recognize them straight away, and as I say, they're all kind of. Sorry?
Do the other druids have staffs as well?
No, none of them have a. Well, none of them have a staff that looks like yours. They have very small staves themselves, but yeah, none of them look the same as the one that's in your hand currently. And you hear it call out to you again in your mind.
Yes, there are my friends right there. They are the ones who can help you get home, and they could send me with you. Approach them, show them my wonderful beauty, and they will not harm you. They will know that I'm speaking with you.
I'm not going to go through. Is that like a little gap just ahead of me?
Yeah,
Or is there-
there is a gap in the stones themselves, quite a wide one as well. It's about 8 foot wide, this gap to walk through. And the
I'm not
path
gonna walk
seemingly goes through it.
through it. I'm gonna, go up to it, but I'm not gonna get through the gap, so I'm not in the circle yet.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna call out and see what happens. It's like, hello, hello.
So
I have this staff.
you don't speak Druidic, do you?
No.
No. Cool. So they call out something to you, and you have no idea what they are saying. But the staff
I
does.
kinda. You gonna translate that for me?
There is
Can-
no need. Just repeat after me, exactly as I say.
Oh, that's bad.
No, I'm not.
This
And then
how
you
you end
tell
up
me
with a
what you
tattoo
say.
in Druidic, which you think says "I love you," but actually says like your I don't know, berry order. I don't know what druids eat. Ravenheart, what do druids eat?
I will keep you
Depends.
safe. You have nothing to fear from me.
Hey, I'm all happy to get home, but I would like to know A, what they're saying, and B, what you're making me say
They
before.
are asking why you have. You need to let them know that I have chosen you.
See. Okay, so what are you
Repeat
gonna make
these
me
words.
say?
This will let them know that I am communing directly with you. They will not harm
Okay, mental note, mental thought, just for better reasons. Even if the staff does say in a language I understand what I'm being made to say in this other language,
Mhm.
it might not even be the right thing. Like you can tell someone who doesn't speak French that bonjour means poop, and they would believe it. So that's kind of her brain. Like even if he tells me that this thing in Druidic is this thing in common,
Uh-huh.
it might not even be right. So, hmm.
All comes down to whether you trust the staff and how much you want to get home.
And
There
also
are many ways to return home.
apricotness. We know she's not. She has the. She has less wisdom than she should have. So she's like, oh, all right then.
The staff gives you a couple of words to say, and do you attempt to repeat them?
Yes,
Yes. Make a performance check.
I was waiting for that. My performance is only +1.
Oh,
That's an
Uh,
11
minus.
total.
okay. Yeah. So the druid that was the one that called out to you kind of repeats, or it sounds to be repeating the same thing again, almost as if it didn't understand what you said. And you hear the staff again.
No, no, no. Not like that. Like this.
And then it gives you a slightly slower and more dictated version of what you were supposed to say, and so you can try your performance roll again.
Yeah. 14.
That is better. That is better. The druid
Yeah.
still seems to struggle to understand you a bit, but he kind of gets the idea of what you're trying to get across to him. And then they gesture towards you to come through the circle of stones towards them.
So let me just do a quick. Okay, that's fine. So as she does so, she's gonna do a sneaky little Well, she's gonna try and do a thing. Not
Oh,
nothing.
no.
Nothing. She's gonna take one of her Ravnican zibs out of her pocket and drop it on the ground on the other side, outside the circle, so that if the other guys stupidly follow, then that's their way of seeing that she was definitely there, because that's the only thing she has that she's definitely hers, if that makes sense, that she can spare.
Okay.
Interesting.
So she's kind of doing a, I don't know, breadcrumbs thing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So and then you
Intelligence.
and then you approach the druids themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go up to the dude that was trying to talk to me,
Yeah.
wherever he is. So I guess I'm inside
Yeah.
the
It
circle.
says just essentially it's kind of like right here. It's pretty much where where they are. So the one that gestured to you, the one that was speaking with you, looks you up and down, then looks at the staff, and then he reaches out towards the staff, and it doesn't quite actually touch it itself, but he looks to you as if looking for permission.
Apricot's like thinking, does he want me to give it to him? Should I give it to him?
He merely wants
Almost
to
as if he-
verify I am what he thinks I am.
Okay. So she kind of does the thing where she kind of turns it sideways and kind of holds it.
So the druid just lays a hand on the staff itself, doesn't make a motion to actually lift it off your hands or take it from you, just merely rests his hand upon the staff, and then seems to stay there for quite some time. For the longest time, stays there. And whilst this is happening, the other druids they go back to their chanting. And again, I mean, you can't make out well, you can make out the exact words of what they're saying, but you've got no clue what they're actually saying because it's all in Druidic. And when this druid removes his hand, he looks directly into your eyes, almost as if he knows now exactly who you are and why you are here, and actually speaks to you again, but in common. So I understand you do not speak our tongue, but you have control of the staff.
That is the knowledge I also possess of the situation.
The staff wishes us to send you home. In order to do this, we must summon the Winter Splinter.
Okay. I'm guessing that's, not a usual thing.
It is something we were planning to do anyway. Timescale can be accelerated for the will of the staff.
Hmm. And it will send me back to Ravnica.
It will.
Cool. So what do we do to do that then?
You must stand here, be silent during the ritual. And he kind of indicates a spot nearby where you can stand without getting in the way, kind of thing.
Cool. So just stand here?
Yes, yes. The ritual itself will not take long. We will have it done soon enough, and you will know when it is completed.
Cool.
Then we can instruct you further from there.
Can I just ask? I had some other people that turned up at the same time as me, and they may be stupid enough to come find me. If they do, will you not kill them and just tell them I went home?
We will not be here by the time they arrive.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid if they try to interfere with our plans, we will have no choice but to dispatch of them.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
What we've come
So
to expect.
the druid kind of bows his head and then turns around to face the this big wooden statue again, and they all again resume their chanting again. He joins in with them, and again it seems to take quite some time. Time seems to almost slow down whilst they're actually doing this. But if you could just make a perception check.
Sure. My perception is definitely better than my performance. Barely. That's a 16.
Cool. So you see a familiar sight, which is in the sky off to the east. There is a small speck in the sky which seems to be coming towards the area. And you can see the hint of flames coming
Oh,
from this
Jesus.
speck as it comes closer and closer. And it seems to coincide with a rising crescendo from these druids as they chant louder and louder. And as this figure gets closer in the sky, you can tell that it definitely appears to be Strahd atop his flaming horse Nightmare. He does not attempt to land, however. He kind of hovers maybe about 200 feet away and just stays there watching the proceedings. And as this crescendo of chanting druids comes up, you begin to recognize one of the words that they are chanting. And then that becomes the only word that they chant from there on out. And it's just Winter Splinter. They are literally chanting Winter Splinter, Winter Splinter, Winter Splinter, Winter Splinter. And then after about maybe 2 or 3 minutes of that, the big hulking statue in front of you just kind of explodes. And the pieces of it go everywhere as this figure just bursts forth from the the figure itself there. And this thing is literally huge. And you see this well, it's essentially like 30-foot tall plant creature, and just twigs and earth go flying when it bursts out. Yeah, the creature itself kind of resembles a dead treant, with a green light seeping out of it. And at this point, you hear the staff again. It seems rather gleeful at the sight of this thing.
Yes, yes, Winter Splinter, my baby. Move towards Winter Splinter. Green lights in its chest. Rest way against it, and you will be teleported to wherever your hearts desire.
Cool. I guess I'm going up to the thing. Holding the staff in one hand, and she puts she's holding the staff in her right hand, but in her left hand she puts into a pocket and holds onto the ring she got from the tent and thinks about that, concentrates on that
Almost
before she
there.
touches it.
So close.
And then the staff makes contact with this big dead-looking tree, and everything goes black. You're not sure what exactly is happening, and you seem to feel this compressive force, almost as if you're being crushed. And it gets tighter and tighter, and then you just kind of feel as if you've been squished into the size of like a dice, kind of like this kind of size. Uh, and it seems to feel like that for quite some time, but you still have conscious thought. You haven't died from this compression. And then all of a sudden, so much faster than getting compressed, you just kind of pop out and you look around, and you're in your bedroom.
Do I still have the staff?
You still have the staff.
My. Oh no.
Yes, yes, it worked. I told you I could get you home. Now let us go explore this world.
Oh God.
To the isn't!
And that's the story of how Ravnica was overrun by pigs and other such nonsense.
Yep. We may revisit that one later. So yeah,
Oh.
that is the story of Apricot and the staff.
That's
All right.
Oh dear.
So,
I
moving
can also
on.
shocked.
What I'll do, we'll drop you down to that map again, since that was the last map that I had you on, and we'll jump across to the Blue Water Inn, where our lovely duo was
Where the
discussing.
breakup is happening, yes.
They were discussing infiltrating a certain house belonging to a mad lady. What would you guys like to do?
Okay, I'm just going to consult my notes from last week. Bear with me.
yeah. Gilroy will need a long rest before he can do his.
Yeah, I was
Level
going
up
to say.
thing.
Well, but I
That,
mean,
that, that is true because I think because we went on the cart and we pretty much got back, spoke to the dude, made sure that Colin was okay, and then we spoke to the brothers about
Indeed, you did.
about their house in great length. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say this out of characterly, and then I'll say this in characterly. But yeah, I guess the thing to do would probably maybe to go around the town, check, for any entrance, exit points, any equipment that may be acquired for such a venture, etc. Any further useful information. Have a long rest, and then I guess plan a nighttime infiltration ? I mean, to be fair, I feel like any time of day is going to be a bad time to infiltrate, but
I'm not there, so I'm not gonna.
yeah.
no, I'm just trying to think. Is night going to be worse or better? Like usually you'd think you're breaking into someone's house, nighttime is the time to do it, but now I'm just here like, oh wait, we're in Barrovia. This could actually be the absolute worst time to do it.
Well,
Yep.
I've never actually broken into a house before, so I don't know if night would be
Not in
better.
real life,
I
anyway.
assume it would. It would be darker, harder to see, although people can see in the dark.
Yeah, Mal's kind of like got her fingers steepled on the table. She's deep in thought. She's like,
I really have to rely on
I mean,
your expertise.
usually I'd say darkness is better because you got the cover and the cops won't see you. But we have encountered all kinds of werewolves and vampires and I don't know, denizens of the night. Is that how you'd phrase it? We've kind of been up to our ears in them since we arrived.
That's true.
So maybe daylight would be better.
I think we take our chances either way. The fact that we're in a town, in a walled town, probably, I mean, I hope anyways, limits werewolves and other such things.
Yeah, but she's got a cult. Don't forget the cult.
Well, that's true. In the house, yes. We don't know what we're going to find in the house. Yeah, I really have no idea.
All right. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
roll of the dice.
Out characterly, Fraser, roughly what time is it? At this point in the day.
I believe it was around mid-afternoon, early afternoon when you started speaking with the brothers, if I remember rightly.
That sounds about right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So Mal kind of like, again, she's sort of deep in thought, and she's like, all right, I'm going to put a proposition to you. I reckon we spend the rest of the daylight hours today just getting a real good feel for our entrance route, our exit route. Maybe hit up the market, see if there's anything we can get there. I mean,
I like
I feel like since these lot are in good with Strahd and everyone else seems to think he's the devil in this town, they're not going to care if we steal anything from her.
Oh, I wouldn't think they would. No.
Burgomaster's a bit of an unknown factor, seeing as there was that whole marriage thing that fell through. But
I don't see it so much as stealing. More liberating for the
borrow
forces.
without
more,
permission, yeah,
Yes,
with no
exactly.
intention of returning it. So it's a
Of course.
time-honored tradition among thieves.
We've got to destroy Strahd somehow. I mean,
just whatever helps you sleep at night. I know that you're a holy man. We are stealing from a cult, so I'm sure
How do you
that
think
probably
the church
gets you
got
some
its
kind of
money in the
points
first
with it.
place?
So, yeah, I reckon we go for a walk, spend the rest of the day hours doing that, come back, get some rest, maybe until the sun starts coming up. When dawn hits, in that sort of weird grey twilight area, when the sun's just coming up but it's not quite there yet, I reckon that's when we go.
That sounds good. I agree.
Still dark enough to have plausible deniability. I mean, no one can see nothing in the dawn light, not till the sun gets going, but means that any creatures of the night that may or may not be hiding in there should be going to bed, yeah?
And if they aren't, they'll hopefully be groggy, sleepy, tired.
Yeah, should be sleepy.
By that time,
after a long night doing whatever it is they do.
I don't know. Worshipping whoever. Various.
I'm just not going to think about it.
No.
Right. So yeah, I guess we're going for a wander around the town to see if there's anything worth seeing.
Okay.
Before we go and have our long rest.
Yeah, so if I just load up here, where is Krez gone?
How much her healing potion?
Before she leaves, Mal kind of pops her head back into is it Erwin? Was that the name of the bartender?
Erwin Martikov, yes.
Yes. So she pops her head back into Erwin and she's like, just to let you know, we're on our way. Please make sure that Colin and Venom don't drink too much while we're gone. You know, they're very susceptible to trusting others that maybe they shouldn't be trusting in that state.
I'll see them to the room when they pass out next.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and then I guess
Okay,
casing the joint begins.
So we'll drop you onto this map here. So this is the town of Vallaki, where you currently are. So you're very close to the... Is it the village square there? Hang on, let's try and remember this now.
Okay, I'm just going to draw some stuff on the map, Fraser, just for my own sake of things. So this is the Wachter house, yeah?
Yes, that is the Wachter house.
Okay. Good. Just so I know vaguely where that is, because Mal will know. We went and had a wander around it before.
Yeah.
So I know. Okay.
Yeah, you also saw a wagon as well around this point here. As you were coming in, because you came in through this area, and you saw that strange wagon, the carnival wagon.
Right.
And then you continued on up, but you didn't see a village square or a town square. But there must be one around here somewhere for a town of this size. An area where
I was going to say
there's got
to be like a
gather around.
Yeah.
Where the festivals be?
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes, the festivals where the children are required.
So maybe before we leave,
any better, no matter what context you put on it.
maybe before we leave the bar, we should ask the bartender if there's like a shop area if we need to pick up supplies.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I was thinking of maybe we should pick up a healing potion or two if they sell them. I don't know if that's a readily available thing in Barovia. I hope so.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not much in the way of shops and such, but there are various. I suppose, are you asking the barkeep, Erwin?
Yeah. I mean, if there's like any alchemy shops or any like general supply shops or what have you.
Oh, well, there's not much in the way of that anywhere in Barovia, as far as I'm aware. You could always try the market square, though. There are often a few shady traders there willing to trade a few things that might otherwise not be found.
Um, whereabouts is the marketplace, if you would call it that?
Follow the road straight across from here, straight south. You'll
Oh,
come across it.
fabulous! Thank you. That's pretty much all I have to ask.
Farewell.
Thank you.
I guess we're following the road straight across from here, straight south then.
Yeah, so that would lead you to essentially this point here, which you do see a number of shops and homes enclosing essentially what is a town square itself, and they're kind of decorated with limp and tattered garlands and just painted wooden
Right,
boxes. So, yep,
Well, I could
It
that
wouldn't be
happened.
sad if we didn't see me.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
It's that time on a Saturday once again.
So,
Just rambling on, you noticed
as
me
I was
laughing.
saying, so
All
yeah,
I heard was that will lead you to around here.
yeah. So this would appear, for all intents and purposes, to be a town square, and the shops and homes that enclose this rather drab town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked in which are several men, women, and children wearing crude plaster donkey heads. In the centre of the square,
They didn't
peasants
go to
in.
the festivals.
Hmm?
I'm just like, they didn't go to the festivals. This is what happens.
In the centre of the square, peasants in patchwork clothing eye you suspiciously, as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing tall at the centre of the fountain is a grey statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are proclamations. These "Come one, come all" to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendance and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. And signed off by the Baron.
Hi. This festival gets weirder and weirder. What are you
I mean, I
like?
imagine the spikes are for the wolf heads. I mean, I hope they're for the wolf heads, not for the
The
children.
children.
I certainly hope not, but I mean, at this point, I really don't know.
That's
do,
fair.
do we see anything, any kind of a shot that resembles a general store?
So there are a couple of like small market stalls. One of them does seem to be more apothecary-ish, with various jars and vials littered across the table.
We should probably approach one. I just want to see if they have anything that'll help us in battle, healing, whatever. I'll only be a second. I hope.
You are the potion man. It's not my area of expertise.
Okay, so I'll walk over to a stall and I'll say, hello.
Yeah, so you see this kind of wizened old lady stood behind the stall itself. She's like, hello, dear. How can I help you today?
Uh, well, not from.
You'd think she'd be used to my
Yeah.
voices by now.
Yeah,
What have you
right.
done before? This is like your sort of normal old lady, but like dialed up just 70.
I must be totally I didn't even understand what you laughed at. To me, it's just
Um,
Fraser doing a Fraser.
my friend and I are quite new to Polaki, but never been to this particular marketplace before. But I was curious if you had any, well, I don't know, any healing items or any items that will make a man feel better or person feel better.
Well, yes, of course I do. Huh. Oh, I've got this lovely balsamic root. Make you feel light as rain.
Right. Perhaps. Let's see. How do I explain this? Something a little bit more liquid. I don't want to come out and call it a potion. I mean that's so cliche. But that's pretty much what I'm looking for, really.
You'd
Healing
be seeking
potion,
something with
whatever they
magical
keep on saying.
properties then.
I'm sorry.
Magical properties you're after?
Oh well, I mean, if that's the sort of thing that you carry.
Oh, I do have a couple of things.
Oh, what kind of things would you happen to have?
So she reaches down behind the cart itself and brings up this small wooden box. And inside are 9 vials of some peculiar looking liquid. It doesn't look like any potion you've ever had before, though.
Well, they are, what are they exactly?
These are a special blend that I make. They'll fix you up good and nice.
Right. They won't hurt me, will they?
Oh, no, of course not. Quite the opposite.
Can I roll insight on that?
Sure.
Can I help him?
Gotta make
I'm
sure.
letting him handle this because I guess he's the potion guy, but I'm not going to let him be fleeced.
I mean, you could roll your own. Yeah, and then try and
I've
determine.
got six.
Yeah, I guess I'll roll my own, and then if mine's higher than his, then
Well, unfortunately, I rolled an 8.
okay. Give me a moment to roll mine. So insight and my proficiency has gone up, which is good. So
Say, what are the narcotics laws in Barovia?
I had a plus 6.
I have a feeling.
no.
Rolled a 2.
I rolled low, so even with my modifier, that's only a 9.
Yeah, so
Well,
you're not able to really get a read on this woman at all.
Too distracted by her accent.
Well, she says they're good, so how much are you selling them for?
These ones are very rare indeed. They're 5 gold apiece.
Oh, well, that's not much. How many are there? The vials are there altogether?
There's 9 in this little box that she's showing to you.
So that's what 45 gold. Yeah, I'll take them.
Very good, very
Well,
good. And she holds out her hand.
Chance that I've gotten in Barovia. Maybe this will be a positive chance. You never know. Oh God. So I'll hand over 45 gold, and I'll take the vials. Thank you.
Gosh.
Mystery vials.
Yep. You have 9 mystery vials. So yeah, she'll
Sure.
take the gold. She kind of drops them into a purse that's hanging around her waist, and she closes the box and hands the box over to you.
Yeah, it might be fun. Sure, why not? Thank you. I'll take the box and I'll walk back to the office. I think I got some healing potions. The woman told me that they would make me feel great. I trust her. I have no reason not to.
Barovia is
I'm ready to continue with
Oh, hey. This is going to be fun.
So
Cool.
as I'm walking away from the stall, Mal kind of like goes, I mean, I'll let you handle that because this is kind of more your thing than mine. But I mean, but 5 gold a pop seems I mean, what do they do?
But she told me they would make me feel better. So I assume they're healing potions of some type. They sound good.
All
In
right.
Barovia, but I mean, it can't possibly be any worse than. I don't know what could be worse than. We've had some pretty bad situations here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to remind you the last time one of us touched some magic thing that we weren't completely sure about, they started dancing away with twigs following behind them.
To areas unknown.
Maybe we want to
I'll
investigate the contents of this a little more before we drink it.
Yeah, he forgot. Maybe should have done some inside checks on the staff. It's fine. She got home.
We'll save them for a rainy day. How about that?
I mean, if they turn, either way, look at it this way. Either they do what she says she does, in which case, great, we got what we paid for. They're harmful, in which case we can throw them at our enemies.
Ah.
Or they do nothing, in which case you've just been fleeced for 45 gold. But that's a learning experience, and it's a one that you have to go through.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, Gilroy. Oh.
I'm somewhat gullible.
Oh, honey.
A little bit.
Oh, chick. No.
Well, let's
Cool.
get
Is there anything else of note around the town square apart from that basically incomprehensible accented lady and her potions?
Yeah, so there are like various what appear to be food shops, kind of like butchers and bakers and things like that. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be much of
I was just
use.
thinking that.
So as you are kind of stood there looking around, though, you do see this rather curious, person come up behind. Well, essentially from the same direction that you guys came from the north, and stands by the stockades, essentially, where all of these people are there with these donkey heads on them, and he's accompanied by what appears to be a couple of town guards. And he stands there and makes a proclamation to the square itself.
Let this be a lesson to all. Anyone who defies the Burgomaster will get the same treatment. If you defy too much, it'll be the hanging man's noose for the lot of you.
And then turns around and walks away.
Did his voice sound like that?
Yes.
In universe? Okay. Yeah, I guess Mal kind of like watches and she's like, huh.
Yeah.
He sounds
Yeah.
like he swallowed
Yeah.
one of them rocks that the dragon marked folk cast their weird stuff on, and it makes huh. All right.
We should really have a chat with this Burgermaster fellow.
Gilroy.
I mean, not now.
We are about to rob a house.
Oh yeah.
The Burgermaster is the last person we want to be speaking to.
Sometime in the future, I mean.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey. Cool. Is there anything else you want to get up to in the market square?
I mean, maybe, I don't know if it's mid-afternoon. We probably need to eat, don't we? Mal's gonna get some food. She's gonna sample the local cuisine.
Yeah, you can go into pretty much any of the butchers and bakers and things like that, and grab various.
What's in the bakery? What are the local delicacies? Do they have local delicacies? Is there enough joy for that in Barovia?
Mostly bread in various different shapes and sizes.
Do they at least have bread with fruit in it? They must have bread with fruit in it. No. They have
literally
a winery.
Just plain old bread.
They have sultanas. I imagine that this actually that you know what that rant happens in universe after she comes after the bakery out of the bakery. She's like going, they don't have bread with fruit in it.
Kind of a
Go
world does
Gilroy,
have
there's a
bread.
winery down the road. They have the grapes. They have the technology, and there's no fruit in the bread.
And on that bombshell, Ravenheart.
Mm.
And Theo, of course. There we go. Let's switch maps. Yeah, well, that's not much point in switching maps, I suppose, because you're at the
That's
back
me as
end
well,
of this
right?
one. That is you as well, yes.
I exist.
So, there we go. You've managed to make it across the drawbridge just in time. What would you like to do?
Yes.
Mm.
Where? Oh yeah, we're over here, aren't we?
Yeah, he's just kind of left in the middle at the moment there because it was rolls to try and get across the bridge.
Yeah, we did that.
You did that, yeah.
Question is there any plants outside of the well, actually dirt is enough. Um so after jumping, Revenant will look back and see is there anyone who is attempting to follow us or
You can't
any
see
sort of
anyone
pathway?
attempting to follow you. No.
Okay. Revenant will take a scimitar and scratch a message into the ground in Druidic, which I will send you just
Okay.
shortly. I cannot type. Simply out of pure defiance. I have no idea how long that would take, but after that, probably head down the road to Valaki to meet up with the rest of the party.
We don't know
Okay.
where Lucky is.
So
Well,
that probably takes
technically,
about 10 minutes or so. But yeah.
Wonderful.
If that takes 10 minutes, Theo is looking at you very curiously, like, why are we standing here while you scratch stuff into the dirt? We should be running for our lives, dude. Come on. He doesn't say anything because he figures that, maybe you're casting a spell or this is important.
Can I roll insight to see if I notice?
Confusion. He hasn't, he's just looking at you with pure confusion on his face.
Okay, that's a 15 on insight. I probably notice.
You'd probably be able to read that expression. Yeah.
And
He's not trying to hide it.
quickly just turns around. Personal message, quite near to my heart. I must express it, and then continues scribbling in the hopes that Strahd speaks Druidic.
Yep.
Theo just kind of turns to Edison and just kind of shrugs, and Edison just lands on his shoulder and kind of whatever.
Actually, I think this is a good time for this. Well, crud. I was saying I would head down the road to Valaki, but it seems I've forgotten where that was. So,
Well, I assume when we get to like a crossroads, you said Theo would know which way was back to the village of Barrovia, right?
Yeah.
So he would suggest not that way, different way, and just suggest the other direction that he doesn't know where things are because it could be more, because he doesn't want to go back to where he was. That's where he got captured. He'll go somewhere else. Maybe that'll help him get out.
And Ravenheart will quickly take a look at the road leading down and sort of the scenery surrounding it. And I think I remember this road, which, having forgotten where Valaki is, I think, that seems about right.
Cool. Out of character question, did we actually introduce our characters to each other? Or were they too busy escaping to actually...
Yeah, I don't think there was an introduction.
frantic
Don't-
run
don't-
for your lives.
It
Yeah, really.
makes sense if
But-
we're too busy running away to say, "Hi, Zuko here." You know,
Hmm.
but so
Yeah, I mean, traveling along the road to get to the nearest crossroads kind of job. It's about with 3 hours. No, just under 3 miles travel, which is about an hour or so of walking
okay,
time.
cool.
All the while as well, the sky is getting darker and darker. You think night is fairly close.
Doesn't bother Theo. He can see what's happening. So it took us an hour to get to the crossroads where we decided not to go back. So we would
Yeah.
have probably introduced ourselves to each other before on that particular hour's walk anyway.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
And then so we go this way, like in this direction to the right.
Yep.
And that's going to take us a while to get to Valaki.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
But there's not
Hmm.
much.
I
I don't like the fact that you put turn order up.
neither do I.
Trying to get up.
Do we?
Oh goodness.
It's going to take us a while.
Yeah, so for every 3 miles, it's essentially an hour's travel. You're looking at just over maybe 2.5 hours of travel time to get to Valaki. During which point you would pass by old Bone Grinder there. You would see
Pardon me.
off in the distance the old Batad windmill, and then obviously passing by Lake Zarovich as well. Over at that point over here.
I mean, I'm assuming Ravenheart has told Theo we're going to Valaki because that's where his friends are.
Yeah, I think I stated as much last session,
Yeah, cool.
if I recall correctly.
So happy. Theo is happy to follow Ravenheart to get to other people who might not want to kill him or imprison him or hand him back over to
That's always
Strahd.
a plus.
Cool. Okay.
So I guess
Traveling along the road. So you get to about here. When if you just make a perception check for me.
for each character,
Yes.
because we have 2 characters each at the moment.
Indeed.
That is a natural 20. Total of 24. And I'll just roll one for loop anyways.
So
Perception.
Theo's is 25 and
That's an
Edison
8.
is 14.
Yeah, for me
Okay.
that's a net 20, so 24, and Luke got an 8.
Okay. So you two, not your pets, would hear what sounds like hooves going along, galloping from ahead.
From ahead.
From ahead, yes.
Hide?
Uh, it can't be Strahd. He usually prefers flying with his horse. So step off the path, give way. Don't think hiding is necessary right now. But if you're intent on it, I would join you.
Yeah. Theo does not trust anybody but you right now. You help. Everyone else has not helped. So he's going to
Okay.
kind of jump into the trees a bit and kind of stealth, hide, and
Okay.
try and hide behind a tree, but still be able to kind of see what's going on. But he's going to do a. I'm going to roll stealth to see if he can hide. How well he can hide.
I'll do the same.
That's a lot.
That's 5, which ends up with a 12.
28 for stealth.
Okay. So you kind of take as best a hiding spot as you can off the road, and you kind of wait there a few seconds, and you hear these hoof marks getting closer and closer, and you see coming out of the mists ahead of you this skeletal horse with a skeleton rider atop it, and it seems to be holding up a lantern, but there's no light emitted from the lantern at all. And it just rides on through down the road towards you, kind of slows down a little bit, almost if it senses your presence, but then just continues on its way past you. That keeps on down the road.
Theo seems to let out a breath and is like, okay.
And Ravenheart will sort of look towards the right and just go, but I appear to have been wrong.
Sorry, what did you say?
I appear to have been wrong. That looked not fun. Not very
Continue.
good with dead things. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
not very good with dead things.
So heading along the road again, then are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once we. Oh, that was.
So continuing along, you get to this break in the trees off to the right, where you just see this massive lake, kind of hovering out there, and you can only just make out the trees on the other side of the lake, and what appears to be a human figure on the other side of the lake.
Theo just kind of stores that information for later. And, doesn't intend to stay.
Cool.
Ravenheart will follow along. That is way too suspicious.
So you manage eventually, after a few hours of traveling, and seeing a strange, mysterious skeletal rider and a strange man across a lake, you reach the walled town of Balaki, and its gates are currently closed. There are two guards on the inside of the gate itself, one of whom calls out to Halt! What business do you have in Valaki?
Theo kind of steps back to let Ravenheart handle this, purely on the grounds that he irritates people when he starts talking because he knows he stutters. So he's just going to let Ravenheart deal with the speaking thing.
I do believe a group of my friends should have come here some time ago, and I would like to join up with them.
Group of friends, you say?
Yeah. Tiefling, about a bit higher than me, quite a bit. Uh, does that ring a bell?
Tiefling.
And Ravenheart will visibly struggle to remember the shapes.
I vaguely remember a tiefling coming through.
And we also have some business with the Burgermaster and the Wachter House.
Wachter House.
Oh no.
What business could you have at the Wachter House?
I would very much like to speak with the lady of the house.
Oh.
He's trying.
If Apricot did this badly.
Speaking with Fiona Wachter. What business do you have with the Wachters?
Well, I'm very interested in the family. That's all there really is to it.
Well, you can take your business elsewhere. We want nothing to do with Strahd here.
Excuse me, sir. We don't like him either.
Yet you want to speak with the Wachters?
And
My friend is mistaken. We are trying to get away from him.
and Ravenheart will sort of try and interject a little, and sort of gesture to the guard. Is that there is no one here who appreciates him? Is there? In that case, I can tell what actually happened. Sort of questioningly.
What are you talking about, you fool?
Well, you see the direction we came from, and we had a little run-in with the Devil Strads maybe a day ago, and I was put in the dungeon. And me currently being here suggests, didn't want to stay there, kind of escaped. So we don't really like him either, and the business I have with the Wachters isn't necessarily speaking, but taking something we may need from them.
So make a persuasion check with advantage.
That is a 17 plus 2, so that's a 19. And an 8. Thank you for the 18.
Cool.
That's very, very nice.
So the two guards look at each other and they kind of have a bit of a hushed conversation. And it's only a few seconds that goes by. And the second one kind of nods and they move to open the gates. Mind your step. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thank you.
Ravenheart will sort of bow and also say thank you and head through.
And they decisively close the gates after you get through. And at this point, you are able to rejoin the same map that your friends are on.
This will never be spoken of ever again.
As if I could.
So yeah, you guys are on the right-hand side of this map, just through the gates. Essentially, so you have no idea where they have went. Yeah, you are now both in the same town, wandering around. Well, one group's trying to find some bread with fruit, and you guys are trying to find your friends.
We're just trying to find any bread that isn't terribly dull.
Yeah,
Pretty
very
much.
fruit, it's kind of
Whole
bread there
wheat
is.
that hasn't been ground properly, and rye bread that hasn't been made to taste nice. And I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of cheese. That might be nice.
No. Cheese is a joyous food. We've already established that there is no joy to be found in this place. They probably don't even have cheese.
It's very good. Yeah, we'll get like anti-cheese. It'll be great.
Yeah, well, one thing you haven't seen is any cows at all.
Oh, okay.
I was right. I was
Probably no
right.
cheese. Then.
There is no cheese.
Can I
They have a serious
just
lack of
say,
dairy. It's terrible.
once we got in, then Theo would have sent Edison off to scout, see if he could
Okay.
find people that didn't look like they were here or were asking questions, or since Ravenheart clearly doesn't remember what his friends look like, also look for said tiefling. Just
Which is
Cool.
in the tavern, passed out from drinking.
So you're
So he
sending
wasn't lying,
a
they were probably in
flying
their bed right
snake
now.
out through the town.
yeah, he's got a flying speed of 60, so he's going to be high enough up that no one can really, and he's so small that he's very difficult to spot, but he can see things and, then kind of come
Cool.
back.
I'm just trying to imagine the reaction of the townspeople when they see this flying snake. Like, devil! The devil is among us!
Well,
Theo
it's
doesn't.
funny you should
That's Theo.
mention that. As this snake
the Dutch
leaps
boss.
from your cloak and goes off wandering around, the townspeople who do spot it scream and run.
Well,
Do
can
any
I
of them run towards
Can I
Beth?
stealth see if they do spot him or not? Can I?
Can we? I was.
Or
go ahead.
not? Or is that not?
I didn't catch that. Sorry, what was that?
Can I roll a stealth for Edison to see if he's keeping to the shadows and whatnot, or is he going to be too far away from? Because he's been taught to scout, so he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is, obviously, scouting ordinarily is difficult to do in such a busy town because there are a fair few people around here, essentially. So there's
To, like,
quite a
rooftops and
few.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's a case of the initial leaving from you and getting to the rooftop
Oh, right.
height
I
kind
see
of
what you
thing
mean. Okay.
is the issue. Obviously, once he's up at the rooftop, then yeah, he'd be pretty much unseen. But getting from you to that kind of height, there are a fair few people who saw a flying snake.
Can we hear the screaming, the various?
Not from where
I mean,
you
it's a
are,
big city.
no.
Yeah, you're
it's
probably
a fairly
too far
big town.
away.
Okay, cool. Gotta try.
Cool. So
Yes.
yeah, you have these screaming folk around. Luckily enough, none of them actually saw exactly where this flying snake came from. They just kind of saw it as it kind of whizzed past them over their heads and up and away. And yeah, eventually everything settles down again though, and people go back to normal-ish, saying the snake is not posing any immediate threat to them. So what would you like to do?
Ravenheart will probably go around and try to talk to a bunch of townspeople and see if any can tell him where the inn is, or where the bar rather.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask about the inn, you'll get told exactly the same answer by pretty much anyone that you speak to. That there is only one inn in the town itself, and that is the Blue Water Inn, which is further along the road.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't mean to do that. Don't do that. Computer is being dumb. So
Additional
where
question
exactly is
to
The
the
Blue Water
marketplace?
Inn, well, the
And the
marketplace is here. The Blue Water Inn is here.
cool.
was the person who told me about the Blue Water Inn able to tell me if they serve alcohol there?
Oh yeah, they that's the only place where you can get alcohol from here. They just had a fresh delivery as well.
Interesting.
Cool.
I sort of look over to Theo and say, I do faintly recall one of my friends liking alcohol quite a bit, so we should probably head to the inn. Maybe we can find them there.
Starts trying to say anything and then just puts a thumbs up.
heading to the Blue Water Inn then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to make it through the town itself to the Blue Water Inn, and as you step through the door, you notice there are a couple of people in there. So you have the barkeep behind the bar itself, and there is a very peculiar man dressed in rather brightly coloured clothes. Quite unusual for Barovia itself. Ordinarily, people wear rather kind of like grey and dull colours and things like that. This man's quite brightly dressed. And oh, you would also have seen the carnival wagon as well, the one circled in purple there. The Rictavio's magnificent, what was it? Magnificent Wonders or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it
Wondrous.
now.
Yeah.
Carnival of Wonders or something along those lines. But yeah, so you would have seen this brightly coloured dressed man, and you'd also notice in the corner as well, Ismark and Venom.
Oh,
Which
I remember that face.
Yep, and they are both passed out in the corner, apparently from alcohol consumption.
friends?
Well, one of them, yes. The rest of the group doesn't seem to be here, though.
Has Edison found anything interesting while we walked towards the inn?
Uh, Not particularly. I mean, you've seen obviously quite a few houses, and there's a few shops for a couple of clothing shops, and you also see, I believe, do you? Or do you not? Hang on, let's get the town locations up here again. Sure. So 3 is that one there. 8 square. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have seen any of those actually. No. So yeah, no, you see a couple of like clothing shops and things like that, but not much else of interest along the route.
You know, I don't know how long it would take with his speed, but just sort of like a once around the town, and then he'd head back to wherever Theo was at the time.
I mean, it'll take a fair bit of time for him to travel around, and as he's traveling around, he would see a few other shops as well. He would see the town square itself with people in the stocks and the food by the butchers and bakers and things like that. You'd see what appears to be a toy maker's shop, along with a coffin maker's shop, and the local church as well.
Cool.
All right, Ravenheart will probably head over to the innkeep slash barkeep and
Mhm.
inquire as to the whereabouts of the rest of the group.
Yeah, so are you making reference to Venom and Ismark, or?
I'm probably gonna go up to the barkeep and gesture towards Venom and Ismark and sort of,
Fine.
excuse me, is there do you know where the rest of the group who was with them went?
They went out around town.
No general location, sort of.
What do I look like there, keepers?
Okay. Thank you nonetheless. And turn around. Hmm.
Now what? Wait or search?
The, I mean, this is the only inn in town. They'll have to come back here before long, but mm,
I'm pretty tired. We've been walking for hours.
you have a point. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Ravenheart will turn around back to the innkeep and also before that, actually, he'll ask you, is it all right if I get us 2 rooms?
Sure, yeah, if you want 2 rooms, I can get you 2 rooms.
How much would that be for a night?
Mm, mm, mm. I believe it was 5 silver.
Okay.
Yeah. Be 5 silver per room.
And Ravenheart will hand over, I think that should be a gold piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll hand that over and take the keys, I
Okay.
assume.
Yeah, so he'll direct you to a set of stairs outside, which leads upstairs into one of the well, both of the rooms, I suppose. Just grab ape cat here and onto there. There we go. And I do believe. Oh, what you doing,
Can
you stupid thing?
can I get some food and drink, please? Theo asks the bartender.
Yes, I mean he goes to the end of the bar and he kind of brings up this old-looking pot, essentially, and it seems to have some slops left in from the morning's breakfast, and a couple of stale bread rolls next to it.
How much?
Covered by the room.
Thank you.
Ravenheart will take a sort of small piece of paper and scribble a little note on it. Give me just a second here.
Theo takes what's left and just kind of holds it close as if someone's going to steal it from him once he's taken it.
I have no idea how to phrase this. I'll think of something in a second. Can I pass you this note, and if the rest of the group comes back, can you hand it to them?
Sure.
All right, and I'll hand them the paper.
He seems to look at it briefly and then put it into a pocket.
Takes out one of his feathers and uses it as a quill.
Stabs it into his hand for ink. You know.
There we
All right, there's the message. And just as a bit of flavor text, he would have written that with the most extravagant print he could.
Okay.
From what he still remembers.
Cool. Yeah, so the bedrooms that you have been assigned are essentially a little further up. On it. So you two have been assigned that room. You two have been assigned that room.
I was going to say, am I meant to be on this map?
You should be. Yes, of course. I haven't updated the that or that. There we go. That's better.
Ah, cool. You got the pictures. You got proper tokens.
I get proper tokens. Yes. So
Cool.
yeah, use basically just in a very boring room, 2 beds, the 2 footlockers there, and a little table in the middle of the room.
Theo just kind of flops onto the nearest bed and just kind of puts the food down and starts kind of nibbling on it.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, what are the other two doing? Having just come out of the bakers with some rather stale-looking, dull bread.
Very disappointing bread.
Non-fruity bread.
I guess we're going to take our disappointing bread and go and have one final sort of like gander at the Wachter house just to see, you know, if we do have to make a quick getaway, the best way to make a quick getaway, essentially. All that good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to look around a bit and things like that. You see a few alleys and such that you could possibly go down.
Okay. What's the window situation?
At the Wachter house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the windows, they're all closed. You don't see any. Well, you don't see any signs of any kind of security measures or anything like that. No bars on the windows or anything.
Okay. Are there any of them that are above, like, you know how sometimes a house will have like a little roof or something? Are there any like, upper floor windows that have that, that sort of thing, or are they all very much you go out the window and it's like the wall down to the ground?
No, there doesn't seem to be any windows in the roof itself. There are 2 floors, and obviously naturally 2 sets of windows in there.
I can't think of anything else that we need to do. I mean,
I'm just trying to think. Just trying to think about the house. The back of the house. Does it have? Is the house like surrounded by a wall? Like, is there a wall enclosing the estate, or is it literally just like a path up to the house and then the green area behind it?
Yeah, pretty much that's exactly it. Yeah, there's no wall surrounding it or anything like that.
Okay.
It's literally just little footpath and then greenery.
Mal's just going to take a stroll as if she's going to go and enjoy bleh. What's the word I'm looking for? Stale. Thank you. Stale bread at like this tree here.
Okay.
Just because she wants to see if she can spot the back door that the brothers mentioned, the one that the cult apparently go through to the basement.
Yeah, so it's you see 2 doors essentially in the back area. So you see one standard door in the wall, and you see another one that's kind of like American style storm cellar. It's kind of like the triangle shape with the doors leading down.
Okay. Interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
does it look like one door has been used more than the other? Like there's one that's maybe more weathered or dirtier.
Neither of the
Or are they
doors
both
look particularly dirty or well used.
Okay.
If anything, they look quite well maintained.
Oh, okay. Oh, actually, that's not completely unuseful. If they're well maintained, they probably have some kind of a level of security.
If they're well maintained, they probably see a lot of use, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And yeah, I'm thinking about locks. I mean, I do have thieves' tools, so there is that.
You do.
Yeah, same.
Is the storm cellar door locked from the outside that we can see, or would we have to assume that any lock would be on the inside?
You'd have to get a lot closer to see, so you don't see any kind of big padlock on it.
Okay.
From this distance, you can't tell whether there's a keyhole or anything like that because you're a bit too far away to really see that.
Yeah. No, she's not going to get any closer at this point. She's just, this is very much just a yeah. I am enjoying my steelless bread in this lovely green area behind the Watcher house. There is
I'm,
nothing suspicious about what I am doing currently.
I'm actually just feeding the bread to the birds. I'm not. There's no way I'm trying to eat this horrible stale bread.
I mean,
No,
Mal's eating it because she doesn't believe in wasting food unless it's literally going to kill you. But she's not enjoying the experience whatsoever.
Here, birdie, 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 birdie.
She's thinking longingly of the soup they had at the
Mhm.
inn of the morning.
The dregs of which Theo is currently enjoying.
Yep.
He doesn't mind the stale bread so much.
Okay, yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can get from the house. Check the window situation. Check the door situation. Oh, do the walls look climbable?
There are brick and mortar walls, but again, you would have to examine them a bit more closely to determine whether you'd be able to actually scale them unaided or not.
Oh no, I mean it's fine. She's got pittons and rope. It's just a case of in a pinch. She's just sort of thinking, okay, this is.
Well, I can't think of anything else we need to do.
No. I mean,
if I need to ask Amy. In case the plague.
I'm sorry?
I like these trees. I like these trees are here. That could be helpful. Right. Yeah, I guess as she walks back, she's gonna try and sort of go down the side of the house as close as she can without being suspicious, just to try and get like a closer look at the structure of the place. So I'm gonna draw another line, and then you can rub it out later if you want.
What?
What's
this
like
area
down here?
What's what? Sorry.
What's the area over here? It's a big open area.
That appears to be a kind of like a farm area style place.
Okay, so
so
it's not like public property here.
yeah, it's
like
more the stable blocks. So these are like stable blocks where there's a couple of horses in there, and there's in the field itself a big ass trough of water and a hay bale in there. So you suspect it's just a field where they keep horses.
Oh, okay. I figured we may be able to get a better look at the back of the house from over there, but I mean, if it's somebody else's yard, we want to break into somebody else's yard to look at somebody else's yard. No, I'm okay if you don't need anything else.
Is it just a case of heading straight back home now? Well, I say straight back to the tavern, as it were, the home away from home at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's back to the tavern. I think Mal has seen everything that she needs to see. Ideally, she would want more time on this kind of job, but also, they are about to go against, the tea drinking, biscuit eating cultists. So she's just kind of here, like, wow.
Cool.
Sure.
So yeah, you get back to the tavern itself, to the Blue Water Inn, and the barkeep Erwin calls you over once you arrive, and you see he has a note in his hand. As you kind of approach, this strange bird came for you. Left this, and I'll just literally post a little screenshot in the Discord of what I received.
What's funny is a bird and a cat.
The bird, the bird was the one who approached.
Bird.
Yeah, but I just find it funny that we've had a bird and a cat being this half.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Oh, right.
This is
good. So
what size was the bird?
Toasty, you mentioned that Ravenheart's writing is like ridiculously curly, right?
Yes.
Mal squints at the note for a while, and she's really then she hands it to Gilroy, and she's like, Gilroy, I had to teach myself how to read. I can't read this. Can you help, please?
Of course, I'll take the note. What language is it just common or?
Yeah, it's going to be in common.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a shot.
No, she just can't read his handwriting. She's struggling.
Okay. It seems that Ravenheart and has found his way to Malaki. It seems he's upstairs.
Oh,
That's incredible.
I have to admit, I thought that he might be a goner, but
I thought so as well.
this is
think
good
we'd never
news.
see him again.
This is very good news. Right.
Now we have somebody who could help us break into the what? I mean, gotta go.
Mal's just kind of like standing there, like,
Oh, hey.
I mean, break. Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. Forget it.
just thinking. Obviously, I'm gonna get some food that isn't terrible stale bread.
Ah,
But
yeah.
I'm thinking about them potions what you bought. Thinking maybe have you got any way of checking to see what's actually in them? I mean, you do the magic thing, right? I mean, is there any way of, you know, I'm just saying, if it turns out we have to use them tonight, well,
Uh,
as it were.
you know what?
What they're doing.
I'm sure they're fine. The woman said it's healing potion. I trust people. I'm sure they're great.
No.
I tell you what. Why don't we give one to Ravenheart and tell him it is a healing potion, and then see what happens, and then we'll know if they are or not.
Are you
We
suggesting?
won't know if they are.
Hang on. Are you suggesting potentially poisoning our friend?
We don't know that they're poisoned.
Are these the words that I've just heard coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, is it? All right.
This is not a good idea. I'm also shocked to hear it from you.
Well.
I think Barovia is having a little effect on you, if you don't mind me saying so.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, we need as few variables as possible. At the minute, there are about 100, at least 20 more variables than I prefer to have on something like this. But we have to deal with it because this is kind of where we've been daft. I don't need someone necking a potion and then dropping down dead, or on the other hand, chucking a potion at the enemy and then suddenly finding that they've turned into, I don't know, a giant bat or whatever it would be.
After we have a sleep, a long sleep, or after a night of good rest, I should be able to prepare a spell that will help me let them tell me what they are.
All right.
Sort of
okay.
a way to
Just to
detect
let you know, I
not
will
magic.
be waking you up before the sun.
Yeah, there's ways to tell what kind of magic it is. I just have to prepare the proper spell for it. It'll just take a bit of time.
Okay. Good. Right. Well, I'm gonna ask our friend the barkeep for some food, and then I think I'm gonna go to bed.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. It's been a very long day.
It has. And like I said,
4 weeks.
good. Gonna be waking you up before sunup because.
Yes.
I think the last time we had a rest was before Christmas.
I wish I had a way to. I wish there was an alarm that we could set or something like that, and some way to wake us up. Sure.
It's called having an internal body clock and years of experience of breaking into things at weird times. Don't worry about it.
I'm a terrible morning person. I'll warn you.
Cool. But everyone's just going off to bed for the night then.
Yeah, I mean, Mal's gonna grab some food first.
So Mal will notice the stock pot has been put on the bar counter again, with a couple of bits of stale bread. As you kind of make your way over for the stale bread, however, Erwin will bring out some fresh bread for you.
Erwin, you are a dream. This is the best thing that has happened. I was so disappointed. Do you not put fruit in your bread?
Fruit? Why the devil would we put fruit in bread?
Makes it taste nice. But you got grapes. Just saying, you might revolutionize the food industry. Get loads of people come into Relaki to taste your fruit bread.
He just gives you a strange look and then walks away. Just shaking his head as he's walking away. As if putting fruit in bread is just the strangest thing he's ever heard in his life.
And he lives in Barovia.
The Barovians have no joy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, isn't Strahd essentially just adult white witch?
Pretty much.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, she makes it always winter and never Christmas, and he's just making it always bad.
And never anything else.
Cool. So yeah, you were able to get some food and get a good night's sleep, and you all managed to achieve the benefits of a long rest. Nice,
Oh, thank
warm,
God.
comfortable beds.
Finally.
Reset my runes.
So, wanting to wake up early, anyone who is wanting to wake up early will need to make a Constitution check.
Well, we don't know if, as Malika told us that she wants to wake up early.
Mal is
Nope.
not including you guys in the heist because that's more variables. So she's going to leave a note and slide it underneath the door that you guys are staying in. Just telling.
Ooh.
You don't know which door we're staying in, though.
Well, she's going to listen at all the doors and then.
Erwin would have let them know. Well, Erwin would have let you know where Ravenheart is. They wouldn't have mentioned
Okay, yeah.
the strange cat person.
I rolled a natural 20 for
I
the
will
contact.
write the contents of the note for you, Fraser.
You might as well just put it in the hideout if it's going to rate. If it's going
Yeah, I'll put it in the hideout.
Normally, I'd say Ravenheart would wake up early because that's kind of the person he is, but after what he's been through, I don't think he's got it.
Right. I rolled a nat 20 for the contract.
So with a nat 20, you're able to wake up easily enough on time.
Just need to double check.
Maybe I am a morning person.
That's an 11 for my contract.
Okay, so you actually do not wake at the same time as Gilroy does.
It's a good job that Gilroy woke up.
I'll just kind of stand and.
Just too much bread. She shouldn't have eaten the stale bread. But,
Yep.
Tell you, it was her plan to wake up originally early, and here I am waiting. Well, I'm not going to disturb her. That's not nice. I'll just wait.
Oh no.
So you will eventually wake up to the coughing of Gilroy. Not so subtle. Yeah, you are startled awake to see Gilroy fully dressed and ready to take on the day.
Oh, bloody hell.
Back of my throat. Sorry.
No, you did the right thing. Bloody hell. Right. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be ready.
I'll go downstairs.
Yes, as you head downstairs and you get into the tap room itself, it is a little bit early for people to be up, and the fresh broth hasn't been put out as yet. It's a little bit too early for breakfast.
That's okay. Figured. Let's see. That's fine. What can I do? I can't do that yet. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I'll just sit and wait.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you
I'll just. I got nothing else.
take a seat and you notice that eventually Malika will come in and stroll through.
Maybe I'll get like a cup of water or something like that.
No, there's essentially about it. Once she's awake, she can get herself moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
She has all of her, thieves regalia, etc. with her as well.
Ooh.
So what
I just have
be
this
the
cloak with a
plan?
hood.
Oh, actually, it's across.
So I think the plan is to go to the water house, check that nothing is moving too much, and then basically try and go through one of the back doors, whichever one is easier to open. It's easier and
Okay.
more stealthy to open.
So, in fact,
This is either going to be fabulous or it's going to go spectacularly horrible. And I'm not sure which.
if I just zoom in here, because we do not have most of these people.
Oh,
That. There. So, the back of the house itself is there. So, I kind of place you here, Mal. So, the door here
Can
is.
I ask,
Hmm?
before they leave, like before they get there, is there any chance we could have like noticed?
Noticed them leaving.
Yeah, well, like out the window or something. Like,
If you're
Are
awake
you
at
awake?
that time in the morning.
I was about to say, they are leaving, like, literally as the sun is starting to peek over the horizon.
I wasn't
So
thinking
it's
Theo
early.
was awake, but Edison. In my head, flying snakes need less sleep than.
That's the note, by the way, that Ravenheart will find when he does wake up.
Well, actually,
I love the spelling mistakes.
how loudly do you think Gilroy would have coughed?
probably pretty loudly.
Well, that was the other thing. Do we
John was-
notice the cough? But Edison would have been looking out the window of the room because the whole point of a flying snake is they're good at flying and they need less sleep, so he can keep watch while Theo's asleep.
Yeah. I mean, Edison probably could have noticed, but he would notice just two random people leaving the building. Obviously, he would know who they were. And this isn't the inn, after all. Could be various people in the inn.
You don't know who the friends are, I suppose. It's frustrating for me.
So yeah,
Neither of them are the tiefling that we know as the friend. So
yeah. So I'm just thinking on here. Gilroy has dark vision. Malika, what are you using for a source of light?
I've got dark vision. I'm a dwarf.
Ew, why did this not have? Well, that does have dark. Why can't it updated properly?
Yeah, I've got 60 feet of dark vision, my dude.
Yeah, that's I was thinking that initially. There you go. No, that's yours updated. This one. Can you see Malika? This map.
Give me a second. Yes, I can see.
Okay, so this door here is the door flush against the wall. This area here is the kind of storm cellar style door.
Okay. I would like to investigate both of them, please, just to see which one is likely to be easier to, like, pick the lock on, I guess.
Okay.
If indeed it is locked.
I mean, looking at both of them, you don't suspect it would be any easier or more difficult to pick either of them.
Okay. I guess so.
Okay.
In that case, like Mal kind of like looks at Gilroy and she's like, "All right, creepy multi-storm cellar or back door."
Well,
Cellar's where the
the
sword is, yeah.
the storm cellar is probably where they are. We should start there, I think.
All right.
I feel like we should start there.
Okay.
I'm going to reach out and touch her shoulder and cast guidance.
Sick.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try and use my thieves' tools to get us into the storm cellar.
Okay. Yeah. So make a roll with your thieves' tools.
So this is actually the first time I properly used my thieves tools, which is quite exciting. So, is that just like a straight up D20 plus my proficiency?
Plus
think
Yeah.
dexterity.
Plus your dex.
Plus
Oh, is
dex.
it?
So plus
Okay.
dex. Plus okay.
So it's just doing
And-
it's just a regular dex check, but with proficiency because you're
So
proficient.
it's a dex check. Add my proficiency. Okay, cool.
Hand check.
Unless you took expertise in thieves' tools, which you could have done instead of a skill.
No, I don't believe I did that. I did not do this. Okay, so that's a 15 altogether on that roll.
Yeah, so 15 is going to be enough to get you through the door,
Sick.
and you are able to get to the bottom here. I just dropped these both there. There we go. And you are able to see a large root cellar with a dirt floor there, and two ascending flights of steps enclosed by wooden railings, and they're kind of across from each other. So you're on one side here, and the other side you've got the other staircase leading up as well. Tracks in the earth lead from one staircase to the other. Other trails go from both staircases to the center of the bare west wall, and four neatly made cots are set in a row against the south wall.
Okay.
So it looks like tracks just lead into the wall.
Apparently, yeah.
Interesting. That's definitely going to be where the culty stuff is. I
Yeah.
would like to sneak, please. So I'm just gonna roll.
Can we
stealth roll.
hear before we move anything? Can we hear anything? Any kind of movement or any voices or any
Make a
sounds
perception
inside
check.
the building at all?
No, I'll make a perception check as well, actually, and then I'll roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that perception roll.
17.
So that was a 10 altogether on my perception.
17 for me.
Cool. So you are not able to hear anything within the building itself.
Sounds safe, but let's be careful. You never know.
That's a 19 on my stealth roll.
Oh, nice. Do you want me to roll stealth as well?
If you want to be
Mal-
stealthy.
Mal will sort of turn to him and be like, "Okay, we need to keep it down, yeah."
All
And then
right.
it's up to
will.
Gilroy if he wishes to be stealthy after that.
Give it a shot. I've got disadvantage on stealth. But,
Yes, you clink when you walk.
it's not bad. 13, so with disadvantage. So it's not horrible.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hope it's not horrible.
So yeah, you are able to move around.
Yeah, the tracks leading towards the wall are definitely good and weird. So Mal's gonna go and investigate these.
Is there any like anything on the beds? Any kind of items or
Just the bed sheets and pillows.
specials? Nothing fun. All right. Okay, I'll wander over with Malika.
Is that going to be perception or investigation to investigate the wall where the tracks suddenly end?
It would be perception.
Perception. Okay. That dice was rubbish for perception, so I guess I'll try another one. Let's try this one. My perception was rubbish today. That is I can't do maths. That's a 12 altogether.
Cool.
Oh, wait, do I get guidance as well? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Do I add any
Yeah.
guidance?
It lasts a minute, so D4 extra.
With a D4 as well. Okay. Oh, okay. That's a 4 on the D4, so that's a what? I can't do maths today. 16? 16. Yes, altogether.
Yeah, so with a 16, you are able to make out where the hidden door would be, and you were able to trip the mechanism to open it up. If I go to this area here.
Okay. All right. Well, this is definitely good and culty. What can we see inside the?
You see a rather peculiar room. So there seems to be a pentagram drawn on the floor.
Ah,
And
the
there
demon
is
summoning. Yeah.
so there are essentially 5 flickering candles in iron holders filling the room with light and shadows. The room itself has a 10-foot high ceiling and a very large black pentagram inscribed on the floor. At each point of the pentagram rests a wooden chair.
Hmm.
Aw,
Okay.
I think we should be very, very, very careful with this. It's. I don't like
I'm
this.
not going anywhere near that circle from chairs.
I don't. So no, stay out of the circle, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
Mal is gonna step inside the room just to see if she can get like. Is there any sign of anything else in this room?
Not that you can see, no.
If I tried to look harder, would there be one?
Not really, no. There's
Is,
not places really to hide anything in this room or anything like that.
Okay.
is there anything on the chairs like or no? Um,
Okay. So
It does
guess
strike
this
you
has
as
hallway's
odd that the candles would still be lit, or even though the room appears empty, though.
Oh no. Yeah, that is
oh,
weird.
has the pentagram been drawn on the floor, or is it like is it
Literally
been
being
etched out? Or
scratched
can you
into the floor.
tell?
It's etched in.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so it's not like maybe this with a. Okay, cool.
Uh, Gilroy, you're like you've got like the magic stuff, yeah. Anything weird going on in this room right now? Like,
uh, can I make an Arcana check?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, 15, 19. Can I tell what kind of is going on in this room, more or less?
So you get the sense that this room is used for some kind of ritual. You're not exactly sure what kind of ritual, possibly some kind of summoning, given the
That's what I
arrangement
was
of
thinking.
chairs around the pentagram itself. You kind of get the sense that there is some small magic at work in the room itself, and it's not one of summoning.
It's not good magic, whatever it is. Um, something, something really unholy. I don't think we should be in this room.
I
I
mean,
think we should.
yeah,
I don't
I
like
don't
this.
see the sword, so
Yeah, I know. I don't like this room. I'm going to leave this room.
no,
I'm gonna
I
back
will
out.
as well. Yes. Yeah, since there's no sign of the sword, Mal is also gonna leave. Um,
Something wrong.
is there a way to close up the mechanism? And now that we've left the room,
Yeah, the door can be reclosed.
okay, I'm gonna do that. Cover one's tracks, etc.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that was bad. Ugh.
Okay. Right. I guess we better check upstairs then.
Yeah, yeah. I'll follow.
Yeah. Okay. Mal will creep up the stairs.
Cool. Uh,
Sneak, 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 sneak.
right, so you guys end up there. There appears to be a blank stretch of wall ahead of you, but as you get closer, you can notice that it's fairly obvious from this side that that is a false wall, essentially.
Oh,
There is, in fact, a secret door in front of
a lot
you,
of
although it's
secret
fairly
doors
obvious
in this
from this
building.
side. You suspect it's meant to be hidden from the other side.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There are a lot of secret doors in this building. It's like they want to hide something.
I'm just going to point out this is a cult. That is, they literally come here and chant and do weird cult stuff. I imagine it's to hide the cult.
As you stand looking at the door itself begins to open.
Oh shit.
Oh, good
That's where
lord.
we leave it for tonight.
Oh god. Oh god.
The slight realization of shit.
Delivery.
So yeah, that happened.
I was kind of hoping we'd actually all meet up at the end of this session, but no, you had to go sneak off.
To be fair, I was fully expecting you guys to meet up.
You guys went to bed. And then Miles is kind of like, no, it's got to pop off now. Got to pop off now. You're like, we've got a plan. If I try and bring
I put
Raven
the
into
couch.
the plan, it's this is too many variables. I only have to keep an eye on one diamond.
Which means
Oh,
you two
hey.
don't even know about Theo yet, because he didn't mention that in the
Note.
note.
No idea. Oh, I'm so never mind. Wow.
What?
Duh. Nah, nothing. I just thought of something. It's okay, don't worry about it. I'll do it next session.
So what did everyone think of today's session then?
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
But I nearly ballsed it up.
Yep.
Poor apricot. We hardly knew her. Jeez, I tell you what.
Well, Apricot is the best off out of one of us. She escaped.
Well,
Out of here. She's out of
Well,
Barrovia.
it just seems like she's escaped one problem and kind of.
Created a new one.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Now she will cause problems.
I'm not so sure
See,
she's
now,
safe.
now it's not her problem, it's the problem of Ravnica. She is the problem.
Step one, make a new baby. Step two,
Yeah.
Create tree blights.
Is she chaotic neutral by any chance?
first she goes to the Izzard Guild to be like, look what happened to me. This is so cool. And then to the guys, I need your trees. I need your trees right now. Don't roar at me.
Lord.
Don't roar at me.
Apparently, Sakura has just fought this on this Curse of Strahd campaign. Good luck. Somebody has spoilers.
I mean, this isn't stuff that we did in the last time we tried to do this, so this is all new to me.
Yep.
Pretty well.
This whole campaign is new to me.
We might do that we did before, but nothing else that we need to do because we had a different Tarot reading. So it could be all different, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
For
I
me,
think
this
from
is like
here on
something
out, it's mostly going to
nice.
be different for you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's different though, and
Well,
terrified.
it's interesting because I watched it. I watched it with Realmsmith, so I kind of have somewhat of an idea of places. I mean, it's again different path. Totally, completely different paths. So, yeah, really interesting.
I mean, that's the great thing about Strahd, really, is it has that much replayability. You can play it like 10, 20 times over and never take the same route twice. It's quite awesome like that. After you, after you make it to the village of Barrovia, and then from there you go get your card reading and you go to Krez, the Balaki even. After that, you can go so many different places, and even then you don't have to go that route as well.
I feel like
what
Wild
would happen
is
if
the
you
same
wandered
way.
into the forest.
Yeah.
Stepping into the forest still seems like a very bad idea, but one that needs to be explored.
That's terrible. Yeah.
It's one you can certainly feel free to explore,
Forest like me, right?
I feel like Wildmount's the same way in that there's a ton of space, different locations and whatnot. various
those
places
are the
to
best
explore.
adventures. Yeah, I mean, I ran it.
Yeah.
It's Out of the Abyss or Into the Abyss. Out of the
Yep.
Abyss.
Into the abyss.
Into the Abyss. Yeah, and it's basically in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Actually, and
Yeah, I think I've ran that before as well.
once you've escaped the prison, say,
Yeah.
right, where do you want to go? You know?
Pain escaping that prison. It could be so
Oh, yeah.
tricky. Good God.
Yeah, I mean, when I was running it through with my guys, it's like I had no idea what to even begin preparing. I just kind of
Yeah.
read through the entire adventure like 5 times. It's just like, right,
Mhm.
this is everywhere you can go. Where do you want to go? Oh, that was quite
Feeling
fun.
that like the only way our party is going to go into the forest is if/when Mal kicks it, because at the minute she seems to be most people's impulse control.
She's kind of the guy.
She used to be.
I like to call it bird brain syndrome. I have a valid excuse.
When Mal kicks it, that's it. The entire party is going to go off the rails. My next character is not going to be.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm gonna make
Theo is
some
quite
fun
reserved, but he doesn't have. He won't be able to tell people to stop because it takes him so long to get out a sentence.
Never mind.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's that gif from Firefly.
Yeah. I think we'll end the stream here for this week, and we'll obviously be back again next week. So anyone watching on our YouTube, I don't actually think I've uploaded last week's session yet. I've got it uploaded ready to go, but I haven't published it yet. So I'll take care of that at some point tonight, and we'll get that ready, and then we'll get this one ready to upload at some point next week as well. But you can always come join us live on Twitch every Saturday evening at 7 p.m. GMT. But until next week, guys, I'll see you all later.
Coming. A good
Bye.
streaming services near you.
Where there is no fruit bread.
Bye bye for now, guys.